Have you ever stood in a grocery store aisle completely frozen?
Oh, absolutely. The cereal aisle is my personal battlefield.
For me, it's the pasta sauce. I'm just staring at 2 jars of marinara,
Yeah.
garlic roasted versus spicy basil, and suddenly it feels like this monumental, life-altering decision.
Marinara standoff. It's a real thing.
It really is, and it sounds so ridiculous when you say it out loud, but that feeling of paralysis is genuine. Or, maybe it's something bigger. You're staring at a job offer that looks perfect on paper.
All the boxes are checked.
Every single one. Or you're just trying to write a simple text message and you type and delete for 20 minutes. You just freeze.
You start making the pros and cons lists. You pull your
You
friends.
call your mother.
Yeah.
And you just spiral into this analysis paralysis where, honestly, the more you think, the less you actually know what to do.
That's it. That's the struggle of decision fatigue. We're just drowning in choice, and our brains are trying to use logic for problems that logic alone can't solve.
That's a great way to put it. It's like asking a calculator to paint a sunset.
Exactly.
And that paralysis is exactly why I'm so excited for our conversation today. We're going to be unpacking the topic of intuition.
Right. And we should be really clear from the get-go.
Please, because before anyone tunes out, I want to say, we are not talking about magic.
Yeah.
This isn't about crystal balls or horoscopes or any of that, woo stuff.
Not at all. We are looking at intuition as as a mechanical, almost legal faculty of the mind.
And we're basing this whole conversation on the work of Thomas Troward, specifically the intuition chapter from his book, The Edinburgh Lectures on Mental Science.
And what's so wild about that source is the date.
1909.
1909. And Troward wasn't some guru on a mountaintop. This man was a judge, a divisional judge in British-administered India.
That background is so important. He approaches the mind like a courtroom. He doesn't care about vibes.
No, he wants evidence, cause and effect. The laws is how things operate. He treats intuition as a standard piece of equipment that we all have, designed to cut through all that noise to find, the next right step.
If this episode helps you, please hit like and subscribe for the next one.
So let's get into his mindset. Here's a man who spent his life dealing with hard evidence, written law, and very rigid structures. How does a guy like that even begin to define something as slippery as intuition?
Well, to get his definition, you first have to understand his map of the mind. He argues we don't just have one mind, we have two.
Two distinct modes of operation. He calls them the objective mind and the subjective mind.
Okay, let's break those down because the terms themselves can be a little dense. The objective mind, that's the part of me talking right now.
Correct. Your conscious awareness. It's the part that deals with the outside world. It looks at facts, it reasons, it analyzes.
It makes spreadsheets.
It loves spreadsheets.
Yeah.
But it's limited by what it can see and touch. It's like the captain of a ship standing on the bridge, looking at the horizon through a telescope. Very necessary, but a limited view.
Okay, so then the subjective mind is what? The rest of the ship?
It's the engine room.
Yeah.
It's the massive cargo hold. It's your subconscious. It remembers everything you've ever experienced, every face, every feeling. But Troward says it's also our connection to the, let's call it the underlying intelligence of the universe. It doesn't argue. It just knows.
So intuition in this model is basically a memo sent from the engine room up to the captain on the bridge.
That is a perfect analogy. Troward says intuition is the subjective mind informing the objective mind. Because it sees all the patterns your conscious logic is missing, it just presents the conclusion as a flash of insight or a feeling.
I love that. It explains those moments where you just know something is off, but you have no logical reason why.
Right.
You're looking at that perfect job offer, but your stomach is just in knots.
Yeah. And that's the bridge to modern neuroscience, because today we have people like Antonio Damasio.
His concept of somatic markers, I was reading about it, and it sounds almost identical to what Troward was describing over a century ago.
It's remarkably similar. Damasio found that our brain doesn't just run logical calculations for every decision. That would take forever.
We'd be completely frozen.
Exactly. Instead, the brain flashes through this huge library of all our past emotional experiences. So if you're looking at a risky deal, your brain instantly recalls every time you felt unsafe or were lied to in the past.
And it sends a signal.
A physical signal, a somatic marker. Somatic meaning of the body.
So that tightness in your chest or that pit in your stomach, that's not just random anxiety, it's data.
It's high-speed data processing. It is quiet pattern recognition. Your brain compared the current situation to thousands of past experiences in a split second and gave you the summary as a feeling. Troward called it an interior voice. Science calls it a somatic marker. The result is the same.
But that's the big question, isn't it? If the signal is always there, why is it so hard to hear? Why do I spend an hour agonizing over an email if my gut already knows the answer?
The noise. It's all about the noise. Troward specifically warns us about arguments based on external appearances.
Which is really a signal versus noise framework.
Yes.
I really want to dig into this because noise feels like the default state for most of us. What defines it?
Noise feels urgent. It
Yeah.
feels frantic, loud, and fearful. It's that voice in your head screaming, you have to decide right now or everything will be ruined.
The do it now or else
Yeah.
voice.
And it's usually driven by the ego, what will other people think, or by fantasy, which is just wishful thinking.
Oh, the ego part. That hits hard. Like buying a car you can't really afford because of how it'll look in the driveway. That's pure noise.
That's a perfect example. The logic, the objective mind, says, look at that shiny paint. People will be impressed. That's the external appearance.
Deep down.
Deep down, there's a knot in your stomach because the subjective mind, the intuition, knows that monthly payment will be a nightmare. That knot is the signal.
So if noise is loud, urgent, and all about appearances, what does the signal feel like?
The signal is the complete opposite. It's calm, it's quiet, and it's persistent. It doesn't scream at you.
It waits.
It waits. Troward calls it a persistent feeling.
It's kind of annoying, though. I wish it would scream sometimes. Don't buy that car. It would be a lot easier to follow.
But that's the key difference. Anxiety, the noise, wants the whole 5-year plan right now. Intuition is content to just reveal the very next step.
It's a flashlight, not a GPS system.
Exactly. It just shows you the ground right in front of your feet. Think of it like a radio. The music, the signal is always playing. But if you have the static turned all the way up.
All the worrying, the analyzing, the scrolling.
Right. If the static is too loud,
Yeah.
you just can't hear the melody. It's not that the music stopped. You're just not tuned in.
And this gets to the idea of stillness, which Troward is very firm about. You can't force intuition.
No, you can't just grit your teeth and try harder. That just creates more static.
Which is what we all do. We sit there and strain, thinking, I have to figure this out.
And you just get more tangled up. The goal is to create a condition of quiet for the objective mind to actually receive the message.
This sounds a lot like Aristotle's ideas.
It really does. Aristotle talked about hexis, an active condition or a habit, and phronesis, or practical wisdom. Intuition isn't a random lightning strike. It's a habit of mind you cultivate.
It's a muscle.
It's a muscle. And Troward says we have to train the objective mind to listen.
Train to listen. That's so counterintuitive. We're trained our whole lives to speak, to argue, to solve. We're not really trained to just receive.
And that's the skill, cultivating what he calls calm attention.
Okay, so let's say I manage that. I find some quiet. I think I'm hearing a signal. Troward, being a judge, isn't going to say just blindly follow every thought that pops into your head, right?
Absolutely not. This is where he keeps us safe from acting on pure impulse. He advocates for a partnership.
Between the captain and the engine room.
Right. The framework is you receive the flash of intuition first, and then you use logic to verify it.
So intuition points the way, and logic checks the map for dragons.
Or maybe intuition calls the witness, and logic does the cross-examination. The danger is that logic often tries to talk us out of the intuition.
Because it looks at the external appearances. But this looks so good on paper. Why do you feel bad about it?
Exactly. Logic sees the shadow on the wall, but intuition sees the actual thing causing the shadow.
So what's the test? What's the protocol for this cross-examination?
First, you capture the first impression. Troward puts huge emphasis on this, that very first feeling you get before your logical mind has time to build an argument against it.
That initial ping. When you meet someone for the first time and you get that split-second feeling before you start telling yourself, oh, but they're so polite, they have a good job.
That's the gold. You hold on to that. Then you check it against your ethics and basic safety. Is this feeling asking me to hurt myself or someone else? Is it unethical? If the answer is yes, it's almost certainly noise, just fear or anger or ego.
Yeah, if my intuition is telling me to quit my job by flipping my desk over, that's probably just impulse.
That's impulse, not intuition. Impulse is destructive. Intuition is constructive. But here's the tricky part. It's often uncomfortable.
See, I thought intuition was supposed to feel right.
It feels true, which isn't always the same as comfortable. If the feeling is constructive, it leads to growth, but it's uncomfortable because it means you have to have a hard conversation.
Or leave a situation that's safe but wrong for you.
Then it's very likely the signal.
That is such a crucial distinction. Okay, let's make this really concrete. We've got 3 examples to walk through: work, relationships, and habits.
Let's start with work. You get a job offer, the salary's incredible, the title is prestigious.
Senior vice president of important things. The logic center of my brain is throwing a party.
All the external appearances are perfect. But despite all that, you have this persistent heavy feeling of dread, not just nerves, a dead weight.
Okay, so logic says go, but the signal says stop. Troward would say my logic is missing key data.
Precisely. Your logic sees the salary and the title. Your intuition, your subjective mind, processed 1,000 tiny cues in the interview.
Like what?
The tired look in the employee's eyes. The slightly passive-aggressive tone the manager used. It picked up on a culture of burnout that isn't in the offer letter. That feeling of dread is a warning.
So trusting it allows me to ask better questions or negotiate or just wait for the right fit.
Exactly. You avoid walking into a trap that just looked like a palace.
Okay, next one. Relationships. You meet someone new, they check all the boxes on your list.
And the list is a creation of the objective mind, a logical construct.
Right. But while you're on the date, you feel this subtle tightness in your chest, a little sense of distrust. You feel like you're walking on eggshells.
And then the noise kicks in.
Oh, yeah. Don't be so picky. You're going to be alone forever. They're so nice.
That's the noise of fear. The ego wanting to lock down a relationship status. But Troward would say your subconscious caught the micro-expressions.
The inconsistencies.
A little flash of anger in their eyes that disappeared in a second. Logic missed it. Intuition caught it. The signal is a quiet warning. Be careful. This isn't what it seems.
Wow. Okay, third one. Habits. This is me. I decide I need to get healthy, so I tell myself, okay, from now on, I'm getting up at 4 a.m. to run 10 miles.
And how does it usually work out?
It's awful. I hate every second. I'm fighting myself constantly. I do it for 3 days, then I crash.
That's forcing. Troward would say that's a war against your own nature. The signal in this case is the resistance itself, the exhaustion.
So my body is telling me this isn't the right path.
It's screaming it. If you listen, your intuition might suggest something else. Walking, swimming, something that aligns with your body's actual needs. It connects to that Taoist idea of wu-wei.
Effortless action.
Yes. It might still be hard work, but it doesn't feel like a punishment. It feels like flow.
Okay, this is all incredibly useful as a framework, but how do we actually do it?
Right. Let's get practical. We have a guided exercise for this. We call it the signal and step practice.
And I really invite you, if you're listening, to maybe pause and try this, or at least make a note to do it later. It's so simple.
Step 1. Identify. Just bring to mind one decision you're overthinking. Just one. Not your whole life, just one thing.
Okay, got mine.
Step 2. Quiet the noise.
Yeah.
Actually name what you're feeling. Say to yourself, I feel urgency, or I'm afraid of what they'll think.
It's amazing how just naming the fear makes it smaller.
It does. You're putting it aside. You're separating the emotion from the facts.
Okay. The noise is in a box.
Step 3. Ask the clean question. And the question is very specific. It's not, what should I do with my life? It's, what is the next right step?
Just the next steps.
That's all.
Step 4 is right.
You write down the very first calm answer that appears. Don't judge it. It might be super mundane, like send an email or wait 3 days.
Wait is a tough one to accept sometimes.
But often, it's the wisest action. The intuition knows the timing isn't right.
And the final step, step 5, is action.
You commit to that one small action. This is how you build the trust loop. If your intuition sends a message and you ignore it, the connection gets weaker. If you act on it, it gets stronger.
It's like building any relationship. You have to show you're listening.
Precisely. And as you do this, you could run into some common problems.
Let's go through those. Mistake number 1, mistaking fear for intuition.
The fix is to check the volume. Fear screams, it's frantic. Do it now or LSE. Intuition is a calm nudge, a whisper.
Okay. Mistake number 2, demanding a full roadmap.
Yeah, we want the whole GPS route before we leave the driveway. The fix is to accept that intuition is a flashlight. You just have to trust that when you take the step you can see, the next one will be revealed.
Mistake number 3, ignoring that first impression.
Troward is so clear on this. The fix. Write it down immediately. Capture that raw data before your inner lawyer starts building a case against it.
Got it. Mistake number 4, looking for signs outside.
The feather on the sidewalk, the repeating numbers. The fix is to look inward. The authority is internal, not in the clouds.
And the last one, mistake number 5, inconsistency.
Right. You can't just pull this out in an emergency. The fix is to practice on small things. What to have for lunch, which route to take home. Build the neural pathway when the stakes are low.
So it becomes a daily practice, not a crisis tool.
It just becomes a way of living.
Okay, let's do a quick recap of everything we've unpacked today from Troward.
First, intuition isn't magic. It's a valid faculty of the mind. It's high-speed pattern recognition.
Second, it's different from impulse. Impulse is loud and urgent. Intuition is quiet and persistent.
Third, we have that signal versus noise framework. Noise is fear and ego. Signal is calm clarity.
Fourth, you have to train the mind for stillness. A noisy mind can't hear a quiet signal.
Fifth, test your intuition. Use reason to make sure it's safe and ethical, but don't let reason bully it based only on what things look like.
And sixth, watch out for those external appearances. Don't let the surface of things overrule what you know deep down.
And finally, practice the signal and step method. Ask for the next step, get the answer, and act on it to build that trust.
This has been so helpful for me. It really takes the pressure off. You don't have to have the whole future figured out.
You just have to listen for the next right step. That's the freedom in it.
Next time, we're going to take these principles and apply them directly to the physical body. We're going to be talking about healing.
It's a fascinating part of Troward's work. He talks about how the subjective mind directs the body and how our mental state can influence our physical vitality. It should be a great conversation.
I can't wait.
Me too.
Thanks for being here. If you want the full series, check the playlist, and please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.